Okay, then we are good to go with what will be the final stream for Twilight Princess. We got nothing to do. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm in Castle Town. We got nothing left to do in Hyrule. We have all the arrows. We completed the Cave Over Deals. We got all the Poe Souls. We've got all the golden bugs. And going into the final dungeon, this is what your inventory should look like. At least if you've been playing along. Well, let me phrase that. The set of final dungeons. I'm just double checking something. That's what I thought, yeah. All of the final stuff is within these next few dungeons. Ugh. So I love the fact that the Master Sword clips out of the window. I haven't talked about that. But let's head over to the mirror chamber. Before we go into the... Okay, one last little thing going over items before we go into the final dungeon. Well, the final set of dungeons. The items you should have are the double claw shot, the Dominion rod, the ball and chain, spinner, hero's bow with 100 arrows, the iron boots, gale boomerang, lantern, slingshot, fishing rod with the earring upgrade, Hawkeye, water bombs, bombs with the larger bomb bag doubling all your inventory, 4 bottles, and the horse call. That is all you should have before you go into this final dungeon. Well, the start of the final sequence. Turns and pieces of heart, you are missing 2, but they are in this final area. With that, the Mirror of Twilight has been restored. What's that foul power? Sages are right. It was their doing. Are you ready? And finally, with the revelation of Midna being the Twilight Princess. Yeah, because the first time we hear the term Twilight Princess, it's referring to Zelda. When in reality, the real Twilight Princess this whole time has been Midna. And this is the first time in the game that we get to see that Midna isn't an imp. That she's got a different form. It's also how we see her without the fused shadow. Very different than the that we see now. So yeah, in the realm of Twilight, the hero would be a divine beast. And she saw, yeah, she saw Link turn into a wolf. And she didn't care about this world. Oh, thank you for the follow. And there go the sages. Yeah, it's funny though. The game plays, like, hides Midda's true form until, like, the very end. Meanwhile, the manga shows it chapter 1. As I mentioned in the manga, chapter 1 is a prologue following Midda before Link. It actually shows Xanth's takeover. Palace of Twilight. Yeah, Xanth's turned the people of the Twilight into these forms. And honestly, the Palace of Twilight is not that long of a dungeon. And Blink got a concussion, great. And we get to see the Twilight versions of all the enemies again. There's actually a really cool final dungeon. Also, new enemy, Xanth's Head. If you've been collecting your various upgrades for the sword techniques, well, we fight these things in a similar manner to the Ganon head. Oh, the Phantom Ganons back in name other Zelda game. We also have these pools of shadow. They are the same crystal that was shoved into Link's forehead earlier in the game. So if you run into them, you will not be able to revert to human while you're within the Dark Cloud. Essentially, they are overriding the Master Sword. Well, okay, friends, you are being affected by it faster than the Master Sword can fix it. If you're having trouble seeing through the fog, you can use sense, and it will change this to a purple mist. The only downside is you have to fight as a wolf, and fighting as a wolf Link, you are significantly weaker than using the Master Sword. I'd like to say this is the dungeon map. Nope. Compass? What the fuck? I legitimately forgot you got this that early. I thought this was... Because traditionally the compass is always after the map. There's something else in here? Right, there's a whole upper level. Can I get up there? Yes, I can with double claw shot. I love these things! Whee! It is! It really is. It's one of the best things in this game. And I like the actual build-up to double claw shot. The fact that they don't give it to you outright. Don't get me wrong, I kind of... Well, I have mixed feelings on that, actually. Because in Skyward, you get when you get claw shot, it is just immediately double claw shot. But here in Twilight, we use the standard claw shot for a majority of the game. And I like some of the puzzles with double claw shot, like the whole using the iron boots to increase Link's weight. Oh boy, Shadow Beasts, let's go. Nope. Welcome, Phantom Zant. Where are you going? See if I can use... Nope. Oh, I can! Two mortal draws. Let's go! And upon exploding, he leaves a pile of dark crystals. I mentioned it earlier. It's weird that in the manga, these things, like these crystals he just threw everywhere, share the same name as the fused shadows in the manga. It's pure power. As long as you have a soul here, all of the, as you see, all the shadow crystals get thrown away. But we've got a friend after us. This thing is basically going to target the soul. So the trick of this dungeon is to use double claw shot to grab this and lead it away. You can stun it with your bow and arrow, so keep that in mind. Mine! Link! I don't need to see the blue rupee. Run! Is that a fairy? It's a good thing I had all my bottles full. I would have been kind of upset, but... I mean, I don't really need a fairy. I have a bunch of other full heal items. Now, there is another chest in here that I could technically grab now, or I believe I could still grab it later. But, I'm gonna grab it now. And that is one of the last, second to last pieces of heart. And run, 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 run! Look at him go! Once you get outside the temple, or this, building, the hand will stop chasing you. And also, as you bring it around, it frees the people of the Twilight. No, that's time for later, I think. Right, they go up here. So it shows the curse that he's got on the actual people of the Realm of Twilight is definitely weaker than the curse he's got on Midna. That curse is a whole other ballgame. Look at them. Four chests in here, and I believe one of them is a piece of heart. Yeah, because as you can see, there are no other chests except in these buildings. Back to Wolf. No, I need the soul for that. Nope. I couldn't remember if you could fight this thing with your bow and arrow. You have to use sword. Or fang. A lot of rupees, which I won't complain about because of the fact that that is fodder for the magic armor for the final fight. I don't believe I could get any of the other chests in here without the actual upgrade for this dungeon. I believe one of them is a piece of heart, and I think the other might be the dungeon map. There's a third. Now we find these things in a dungeon, which, you know what? It makes sense for them to be here. Mortal Draw! Holy shit, there's more. Probably take more allergy medicine at some point. Double claw shot puzzle, let's go. I seriously love using this thing just to swing around. I like to say this is the dungeon map, which is not an entirely useful item here because of the fact that, well, you'll see in a second. Yeah, there really isn't much left to the dungeon. Oh, so I'm wrong. There are chests in the other part of the dungeon. Okay. I think most of them are rupee chests or, you know, more keys, but, yeah, there isn't really much left in terms of collectibles. There is one piece of heart. Up, here's round 2. Link tries to stop him this time. And yeah, Zant's got some new tricks, as you can see. Yeah, that was not a good move, Zant. Mortal Draw solves all my problems. And some more Dark Crystals. Second verse, same as the first. We need to grab the soul and run like hell. I did not know that would work. I thought you had hit with the Master Sword. Yeah, this one's actually a lot more aggressive, though. As you see, it's already moving. What? Is that... Oh, shit. Give me a second. How the fuck did you get in here? There's a fucking wasp in my room, I think. Give me a second. Okay, that probably dealt with. Grab the claw shot and run! Calm yourself, dog. Oh. Let's leave the giant hand further away. Okay, there we go. No. Drop it. Yeah, as you see, it actually does. If it does get the soul, it actually has to float all the way back to where it started. So you have time to catch it. This one should be piece of heart. Final piece of heart. We are now at 19 hearts. I believe every other chest here is just going to be rupees. Yeah. Got every collectible of importance in this dungeon. Well, now there's every one. There's still the upgrade. You notice I'm saying upgrade, not dungeon item. Because there is a very big difference in terms of the item we get in this dungeon. One of the big fact being you can only use this item in this dungeon. That is the light-filled the Master Sword. Its blade glows with the golden light in the Twilight realm. With it, you can cut through dark fog. Yeah, as Meta said, we can now repel the shadows Xanth spread. So while you are in the realm of Twilight, the Master Sword now glows, as you can see. It glows brighter as you swing it. And it doesn't really do much. You see this wall of shadow, but if you do a spin attack, it expels a lot of shadow. I think it's actually really cool that the upgrade for this area is just a thematic upgrade for the Master Sword. Basically showing, like, the actual, like, spirits in the realm of Twilight. They're like, nah, fuck Xanth. Link's right. That they're siding... No, you could say they're siding with Link or they're siding with Midna. Twilight Princess! By the way, you two, I am in the, my live booth if you want to come talk. Oh, fuck! Yeah, that happens a lot. Okay. As the title suggests, we are going until the end. There isn't much left. You know what? I already have all the sword techniques. I have all the bugs. I have all the post souls. We did the Cave of Ordeals. And we have all the pieces of heart. The only thing we're missing now is the last heart container. I need to fight this one. I also think the Master Sword gets a damage boost in the realm of Twilight now. So, I'm not too sure on that. It is definitely seems to be taking out the Xanth heads a lot faster. This is gonna be a small key. I saw that the other door was locked. This whole dungeon is essentially a showcase for just using the Master Sword and for double claw shot. Which I kind of get why they use double claw shots so much here. You get double claw shot literally that's right before this, so there's not really a lot to do with it. There's one double claw shot challenge. Oh right, this is where the fucking key is. I thought this was gonna be rupees. Yeah, so there isn't really much time to use the double claw shot before this. Bo doing work as always. Come on, give me a second. Dog. Banded by dog. Yeah, the Master Sword is definitely, at the very least, stronger against Xant heads, because now it's just taking him out in one shot. Just running by and slashing them, and it's destroying them. Not just the Xant heads. I think it's my Master Sword's just good against everything in the realm of Twilight. At least now that's been infused with the golden light. That was easy. I think that is the easiest fight with the Twilight Messengers in the game. I do too. I honestly wouldn't have minded, like, I would have kind of liked the Twilight Princess sequel set in the Twilight Realm. Though, it's funny you say that, though. The Twilight Realm does get a pretty big expansion in the manga. I mean, already in the manga, it's got, like, we see other people, like, jobs and everything that Xant has turned. One of which is the head librarian. We learn that there's, like, a gardener. There's a bunch of people with different jobs in the realm of Twilight. Link actually spends not a lot of time, but some time. Huh. Why is that censored? Wait, was that a link? Oh, yeah. No, I forgot. I have links set to be censored. because it was one of the things that the bots were spending a little too much on. I believe this is gonna be a small key. Hey! It's almost as if I'm remembering this dungeon slightly. I can see it. It does... It does seem like something that should have importance. Kind of funny. You don't even have to deal with the scream or anything with the light infused master sword. It just one shots these things. I mean, at this point, you would have fought them a few times because of the fact, I know I got the Elden Bridge warp point before I got the master sword, even though that warp point is completely useless until you get the master sword. He really was trying to stop you. He really doesn't. I mean, Zand actually serves a bigger role in the manga. I actually went over this recently in the most recent video as of this stream, where Link goes insane and has a battle with Dark Link in his own mind. His face! He's talking about Midda, her father, and all of her ancestors. Yeah, he was actually an advisor to her father. I love how insane he is. He found a god. Here he is. His soul. There's an interesting take on it in the manga where they talk about when Link learns that Ganondorf has the Triforce of Power. He's confused as to why this divine power chose Ganondorf, the same thing that chose him at Zelda. And the sages explain that the Triforce is just power. It does not differentiate between good and evil. Serper King Zant. Now, Bass, this is something I like about the Zant fight. The Zant fight is a rematch of our greatest hits, basically. And you fight him using the various items and the methods we've picked up over the course of the game. There's so much good about this fight. This is how you do a boss rush. It's the fact that he's imitating them, but he also has his own spin on everything. It's not just a boss rush, it's more of an arena rush. Mortal Draw! So every single item gets some time to shine here.
Hello!
Oh, hello!
Are you familiar with one of the best boss fights in one of the best games ever made by mortal hands?
Yes! I've been kind of thinking its praises this whole time.
Yes.
Like, this is... Honestly, I prefer this over to the standard boss rush.
Yeah, like you said, all the items get to shine, and they give you a little bit of, like, they're like, hey, do you remember, like, you know, it's the test of, like, hey, how, you know...
How did you... Yeah, it's how did you fight this boss, but not only is it did you fight this boss, it's you've got to adapt to having new mechanics. It's just primarily Zant using range magic.
And it's hilarious how he swims around here. And I also thought Midna's dialogue here is interesting. Is like, I know he seems nuts, but there's probably some kind of pattern. You can find an opening to counterattack.
Yeah. I mentioned it earlier. You probably heard me talk about the fact that the realm of Twilight is... Oh yeah, and then there's this just randomly... It's not just main bosses he imitates.
Yeah. Was the real boss. He's so charming.
Strike his ass!
Ook is so great as a mid boss, and I really think as often the case is that, like, early on you start on a project and your ambition is so big, and then later you have to pull back the scope, and I think this dungeon is what happened there.
Also, can we dodge the fact that his Xanth's theme for the boss here is just distorted remixed versions of boss themes?
Yes, I especially like this one because it's the best part of the Blizzetta fight.
Yeah.
And the Blizzetta boss music's really good already. I use this a whole.
Yeah, I used it twice because I've been using the boss themes for the manga videos, but like the boss fights in that are like only 2 pages usually because they emphasize the Master Sword is fucking terrifying. Like remember the boss of the Arbiter's Ground? He one-shots that shit.
Lord. He one-shots Star-Lord?
Yeah. But I use this because immediately in the manga, immediately after Blizzetta, Midna leaves Link.
She leaves?
She leaves because of the fact Link is kind of having a power trip.
Because Master Sword too OP?
Yeah, like he's actually like, going on like this feels better than ever training in my life. I am the ultimate being. I am the chosen hero. Midna's like, Link, calm the fuck down. Also, no more boss areas.
And he's like, hey, nope, that ain't right. Okay, let's try this. Pull out the swords. Yeah, and it's like, this I think really shows like Xanth's never fought in his fucking life.
Yeah. He's a mage, but also I love the fact that this last part gives a lot of your sword techniques time to shine.
Yeah. Like, Xanth is relying a whole lot on the magic given to him by Ganondorf. It's all tricks, it's all imitations, and when it's just him, he's just flailing around!
He is a fun character to play as in Hyrule.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw up your shield and you can block almost all of his shit. But eventually Link's arm will give out. Just, if you time it right, the backslash is fucking fantastic for this fight, as you can see.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we hadn't gotten into shield parries yet that we would in Skyward Sword.
You can actually parry in this game if you have Shield Strike. Because, like, for example, those Armored Lizalfos in the City in the Sky and Temple of Time. If you, you use Shield Strike on them, they don't stay stunned long enough to use, like, the Helm Splitter. But if you time it right as they attack, it stuns them. You can use Helm Splitter. So there is a form of parrying in this game. Is it as refined as what we get in Skyward Sword or Breath/Tears? No. But it's there.
Yeah. But look, if I have one problem with the Shield Strike thing, is that when they demonstrate it to you, they have you deflect a blast of magic. And the very next time you see that is against Puppet Zelda, and that is not what you're supposed to do. If you shield strike it, the blast, you're supposed to do the tennis thing. But if you shield strike the blast, you're like, that's it. Oh, he's got you in the corner.
Yeah.
The combo ends. And
you can also use the shield trick on the balls that the Xanth heads shoot, and any ranged attack in the game. If it's a magic-based attack, if you shield strike it, it does reflect.
See, now he's worn himself out.
Yep. And here we go. We've retrieved. I, as a kid, forgot that he took the fused shadows.
I did not forget. That moment was traumatizing.
Yeah, I had greater concerns at that moment. And, yeah, she's confused as to why she's still an imp.
Like, hey,
Oh, right, this scene. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Fun fact, despite the Twilight Realm having a princess and an actual, like, monarchy system, their leader's elected.
Yeah, they're elected in the manga, right?
Yeah, Zamp was the runner-up to Midna, but they
Yeah.
were turned off by his lust for power.
Can't imagine why. He seems totally sane.
Oh yeah. So we get ready to talk about this. Yep. My master Ganon survives. He will resurrect me without cease. I love the fucking like sounds he makes
Oh,
before
a
Mid
bit of
decides to play Dig Dug.
divine awe, and then she tears him apart. And I was not super clear in this moment that this was the power of the complete fused shadows because she doesn't take out the other pieces.
Yeah, that was just because she now has them. She has that magic. Though there is a theory that it wasn't just the fused shadows that did that.
Yeah, see, like, I did that using only a fraction of my ancestors'
Yeah,
magic. I'm like,
there.
isn't your ancestors' magic just your normal magic? But she meant the fused shadows.
Yeah, there is a theory. We talked about this earlier. I believe we alluded to it, but now that the events happen, we can talk about it. There's a theory that when Mida receives the ability to exist in the realm of light from Zelda, she received the Triforce of Wisdom. Because we see what the fuck she's able to do right now, but then afterwards, there's a significant power drop. Now, Grant, the power drop is actually makes a lot more sense in the manga because of the fact the fused shadows have a huge downside. Like she actually gets put to the point of death.
That one's that heart container is easy to miss.
I know, but also look at it. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. 2 full rows. I've never gotten 2 full rows before. It is beautiful.
I have 2 full rows. I have 60 postals, 20 bugs, 100 arrows, 60 standard bombs in 3 different bomb bags, and 4 bottles. Every single collectible with the exception of the fish.
Fish. Do you want to save? I remember this like, yes, I want to save. That was heart pounding.
Yeah. Zant is still probably my favorite, one of my favorite boss fights outside of like a Ganondorf fight.
And then these fellas.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to talk about it yet in the manga because, like I said, in the manga we just got done volume 6, which was everything but Dark Link, and 7 is the aftermath of that. There is a bit in volume 7 because they actually do a whole thing where when Link goes to Temple of Time again to go into the actual dungeon version, after he puts in the Master Sword to go into the past version, he walks up to the pedestal again in the past version. He's like, okay, I put the sword back once and I got here. Let's try it again, see what happens. Before he could do it, though, he hears something behind him. He turns around and he sees a boy running towards the pedestal.
That's wild.
He turns around, sees him pull the sword, and there's the young man.
Here we go again. Okay, so you got the mirror. So now I can talk about this, right?
Yes, talk about it.
Okay.
Just don't talk about the ending. We're gonna save the ending.
Midna does not know where the Mirror of Twilight is in the World of Light.
Yeah.
Right? That's why her final request to Zelda is, can you tell Link where it is?
Yes.
Right?
In both versions, that is her manga and game. That is her final request to Zelda.
So then it holds that Midna does not know a way other than the Mirror of Twilight to travel between the Twilight Realm and the World of Light. The real Twilight Realm and the World of Light.
Yeah, as far as we know, that is, with one exception, that is the manga, that is the only way to get into the realm of Twilight. The other one was the sword Link pulled as a kid that destroyed a country.
The game does not make it clear how, after Zant takes over the kingdom of Twilight, how Midna gets to the World of Light to find Link in Faron Woods. How does she get there? She didn't use the Mirror of Twilight because then she would know it was in the Arbiter's grounds.
And that was sealed at that point. So there are other ways, as we saw. Xanth's been ripping holes through between the realms with the Twilight portals.
But the implication seems to be that Minna does not wield that kind of power.
Unless she snuck through and piggybacked off of one of Xanth's.
I guess that, yeah.
Because the first, keep in mind, the first time we saw Minna was in Farron Woods, which Xanth was launching a full-blown invasion. So there's a lot of gates, so she could have just snuck through one of those.
That is a decent explanation. All right, that's actually the best answer I've gotten to this question. The other thing I wonder about is how did one of the few shadows end up in the Twilight Realm?
That is
the flashback. She's in the Twilight Realm
with one. So that is something that's never talked about in the game, but it is talked about in the manga. The fact that 3 of the few shadows were taken by the spirits, but the royal family kept one. Were able to keep one. Also, here we go. Yeah, this fucking thing. This is her magic special in Hyrule Warriors. Yeah. This was fucking horrifying.
Yeah, this hurt to watch. I thought I was gonna fight a boss.
Yeah.
We get a decent showcase of the
fused shadows.
This is probably the best part. This is probably the best showcase of its powers right here. But I mean, look at that. That's crazy.
It is, at least in the manga side, it is talked about. She has no fucking control over this thing.
The trident here is also well, I guess not quite a trident, but the fact that it resembles Ganon's trident was also the subject of immense speculation pre-Hyrule Historia.
Yeah, I just see as trident just being well, actually, I always kind of took it more as a spear, especially because of the fact Minda uses it in Hyrule Warriors, and you get a clearer look when Twilight Minda uses her special. Mm-hmm. Also, there's him holding her.
It was very sweet.
Oh, this scene is ends in a much different way in the manga. As I've mentioned,
the music here.
Oh, the music, castle, the rain. It's peak final dungeon.
Yeah, they're like, the look of a determination. It's like, is go time.
The fact they have to push open the door.
Yeah. This is really. This whole part is pretty neat.
I will say
remember how,
because we've had Hyrule Castle as a final dungeon a few times. I mean, there's technically Ganondorf's castle in Ocarina. There is the Twisted Hyrule Castle in both Link to the Past and Minish Cap.
Yeah.
But this one I think might be the best just because of the fact you've got, like I said, there's the rain. There's the visuals, there's just the lack of music when you're out here and all you hear is the rain.
It's so grand, right?
Yeah.
Like you see the battle damage and such, but this is the greatest work of Hyrule architecture.
Though it is that we could kind of infer this is not the same castle town that Ocarina of Time Link went to, because the Sacred Grove is Temple of Time, and they've moved.
Yeah.
So...
And, I mean, obviously, this castle doesn't resemble Ocarina of Time's, and...
It's been, I believe the time gap is 200 years, so... We can assume there was a collapse at one point, and they just moved. Which is not unrealistic in a medieval society.
Well, magic?
Magic, too. Well, that, or it could just be that... I am also assuming that the Temple of Time dungeon is at the same location in the past as the Sacred Grove in the present.
Yeah.
Because the Sacred...
suspicions that, the Temple of Time just has layers and secrets to it. It doesn't have to show you all of its rooms.
Yeah, that or it could also be that the Link moved the sword to the Sacred Grove. Because the sword is in the Sacred Grove within the Lost Woods, both in this game and in Link to the Past. Mm-hmm. So, I have a theory... Well, I have a theory that, at least in terms of Twilight, Link moved the sword to where in the Lost Woods, so it could be guarded by his friend.
Yeah, and Skull Kid. What a pal, had his back on that.
Yeah, no, I did you see the video I did on that part of the manga?
I have not. I think
Um,
I'm gonna go.
when he's
No! It's King Bulbin!
yeah, when Skull Kid sees him in the manga, he sees like the Triforce glow on his paw. He stops everything. He's like, "My friend, have you come back to us finally?"
That's
And
sweet.
he actually just hugs Wolf Link, saying that the Force has waited so long for him.
That's sweet.
Ow!
I like this. I like every one-on-one showdown in Twilight Princess is so good.
Yeah. So the second showdown with Bublin, you know how it happens, at least one-on-one without the horses and everything.
Yeah.
We fought him in the Arbiter's Ground. In the manga, he doesn't fight him again until after Blazetta, and that's when Link's on his fucking power trip. And he's like, he went from saying like, I have my power to protect the weak and everything like that, to he's like, I get it, you're right, strength is all that matters.
Uh-oh.
The Master Sword rejects the Link for a hot minute.
I bet it does!
I also love, like, the weird crooked smile he gives Link in this afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, we're done. Have the key.
Yep, that's the end of the rivalry right there.
He's like, nope, I lost.
I've tried it every which way. But not only this, right? So he has this moment here. He's like, all right, not only do I lose, right? I follow the strongest side. That's all I've ever known. He thinks, in this moment, you're stronger than Ganondorf.
Yeah, no, that is his full... like I said, remember how I mentioned he gets a full arc in the manga? It ends the same way. He reaches the same conclusion. But you actually... you see him act on it in the manga.
It's pretty neat.
Because...
That's pretty cool.
This is the thing that just an issue with a lot of the Zelda games in general. It's that you don't really feel that the rest of Hyrule is dealing with the problems of, like, Ganondorf and all of his minions.
Yeah, you're right.
The Twilight Princess manga does not do that. While Link is going through the castle, every single ally he's made and the Royal Knights are all gathered out front of the castle fighting all of Gandorf's army.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All the while also defending Midna, because she's, like, on the verge of death.
Oh yeah, you shadows.
And
I like how, at this point in the game, we've gotten rid of the pretenses, and we no longer have Ganondorf's power filtered through Twilight magic. It's just, there's no Twilight effects. It's just, like, the barriers, it's just Ganondorf's stuff.
Yeah.
It's just the power of the Triforce. And I think it's neat, this hierarchy they create here, because clearly, like, Fuse Shadow is very powerful, but it is weaker than a Triforce.
yeah, that's why like I said, there's the theory that Midna has the Triforce that's bolstering the Fuse Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I have not picked up Yellow Rupee this stream.
You got a Yellow Rupee!
Which, I mean, I do not need rupees at this point. The only point of the rupees right now is just to, bolster the magic armor.
Yeah.
But, okay, you weren't in the stream when I went, the call, or even in the stream when I went over the items I have. I have the 100 arrows, so I have the giant quiver from completing the minigame twice, the large bomb bag, rare chew jelly, fairies tears, and 2 fairies.
Yeah, 2 fairies and fairies tears.
And rare chew!
You're over-prepared. You're overqualified.
I did... Like, here's the thing. I went into an Arbiter's... The Cave Over Deals with, 1,000 rupees. I left with 0.
Use the magic armor?
Used, the fucking final room being 3 dark nuts.
I see. Bye, guys. I'm surprised they're using these guys. Like, these guys, I forget what they're called, but they're like a whole other kind of creature than the
Bubblins.
Bulbins everywhere.
Yeah, the reason why they're not using the Bulbins right now, though, is because of the fact they serve the king. The king.
And the king just, fails.
Yeah. Granted, it is a thing that they go over that all of these creatures are by extension from Demise or Ganondorf.
Yeah.
That's why they all explode the same way.
We learned that later, like by,
Skyward.
They make that very clear as we go through the series. Like, a lot of these are just spawned into existence by evil magic.
Yeah, like, for example, the only thing early in the game that we fought that wasn't from the power of Demise is the giant Deku Toad. That's just a fucking giant-ass toad that lives in Lake Bed Temple.
And then he was one of a kind, and we murdered him.
Also, love this, like, rendition of Ganon's theme.
Yeah. You think they just didn't finish building the stairs here?
That or Ganondorf destroyed them.
Likely.
The compass! Yeah, it's weird that these last few dungeons give us the compass before the map. Also, I was mentioning it earlier before you joined. I don't hate that Skyward gives us just straight double claw shot. It doesn't, do the pretense of, like, having the single claw shot beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like how they make us wait a little bit for double. It makes you be a little creative for the single. And then the double is just, like, really fucking amazing.
It is. It's so fun that
oh, here we go.
They give it to you just straight up in Skyward Sword because everyone loved it.
Yeah. Also, I'll be honest. Okay, I've had this conversation with Sean before. Story-wise, I think Ocarina has, like, one of the better Dark Nuts because of the fact they have the whole story with the Gerudo. But actual fight-wise, these are probably my favorite Dark Nuts.
I'm with you. I love every single Dark Knot fight in Twilight Princess. I love these sword duels. It feels like a real test of skill. I like how they have multiple stages. I like how they change up their strategy. I like their armor. I like...
Yeah, it is
how smart they feel compared to other enemies, and that they'll actually, like, defend against you. Block,
yeah. This is actually one of the enemies that... Remember how I mentioned that there is a shield strike parry mechanic? It's the only way you're going to basically use Helm Splitter when you go into Phase 2.
Oh, I see. After that one time, I see those suits of armor there. With this fight and, like, after that one time at the Snow Mansion, I became very suspicious of all these armors.
Lantern. So, funny thing about Snow Peak, do you remember, what's her name? She's the, one girl, with the, Resistance in Telma's Bar?
Yeah, the Resistance person who helps you for that stage of the game, yeah.
Snow Peak's her house.
That's her home?
That's her home.
The mansion is her home?
Yep. It's gone over in the manga. It's her home, and Link asks her if she knows about she lived here, like, her family's a group of royal knights.
That explains her soldierly tendencies.
Hey, Chosen!
There's something in the game about being taught how to fight by her father.
Yeah. In the manga, it is her home. She knows about, Yeto and Yetta living there. She's like, they're harmless. They can live here. They're not hurting anyone.
They're a nice pair.
They are.
Oh, 2 Lizalfos. They really cut the shield budget, of the Lizalfos. They only have the little arm guard there now. Why, back in my day, their whole arm was the shield.
Fun fact, bucklers are actually a very... There's something else. Why is that not opening? Also, hey, wait, isn't that, Hyrule Castle from... No, that's Hyrule Castle from this game. Yeah, it's just Hyrule Castle from different angles.
That literally looks like it's just a low-res render they
It probably is.
squeezed onto the painting.
There we go. Yeah, that's what I remember there was something I had to... Oh, shit!
Got a switch, and I did not know about this. All this rare chew jelly? What?
No, they're not rare. They're lantern.
Oh, it's the lantern, yeah.
You can tell if they're rare because they glow. You know, okay, what's behind door number 3?
Okay. I don't remember this part. I don't remember this puzzle.
More yellow chew jelly!
Guess if you needed lantern oil. Although they have the whole bowl of it in the other room.
Yeah. Right, the double Dark Nut fight. Both with maces.
Yeah, they mix up the weapons. And I like how they... Personally, I think the first one you fight has the best looking armor.
The blue one or the one in Temple?
Like, these guys are horned. There's a different one where the helmet resembles more of a stereotypical Roman legionnaire helmet kind of thing. And I think they were like the standard Dark Nut and Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, they were. The one in the pitch black armor from Temple of Time is the default.
Yeah, pitch black, yeah.
It is theorized that all of these Dark Nuts are just corrupted royal knights.
Maybe.
And I mean that's also supported a little bit in Wind Waker because of what they drop.
I think they're not. At least these, like, I don't think they're humans here. I think there's nothing in there.
I don't think they're human anymore.
I don't think there's flesh and blood underneath that armor.
I don't think anymore there was. Was there at one point? Maybe.
Maybe.
But Ganondorf saw to that.
It's just they're so huge.
That's why. That's why I've seen that the theory that these are corrupted royal knights by Ganondorf, and the one in Temple of Time it was placed by the goddess, similar to Wind Waker, where in the Tower of the Goddess there's just a random ass Dark Nut. And then the fact in Wind Waker they drop an item specifically related to the Royal Knights of Hyrule.
Do bombs work on these guys?
No, I don't believe they do. You know what? You know what's one way I can find out? I have 60 bombs and 100 arrows. Fuck it. Nope.
Hey, buddy, can we get some bomb-proof armor? Can we get that bomb-proof armor? He didn't seem to care.
I mean, the shield blocked the actual explosion. It's big enough to block the actual explosion. The only problem he'd deal with would be the concussive force. Fucking!
I know, he's got your radius figured out.
The funny thing is, if you go to Mortal Draw them, they will just kick Link.
We know your shit. We ain't amateurs. Later, we're gonna get to perhaps one of my favorite moments in gaming.
The actual final boss?
Well, that is definitely there, but I mean, once you're I guess one of my favorite, quieter, more subtle moments once you're going up a big staircase.
Okay.
If I'm remembering right, that it was a staircase. But there's a required wolf section. I suppose not quite required, but in
Yeah,
the
I don't
expected
remember
way.
if that's a key or a rupee.
Just jump over and use your glider.
Wrong game.
I'm telling you! The glider changed the way I think about moving in games. Messes with your brain.
I only wish with
I like.
gliders, I do wish it wasn't as, like, much of a stamina guzzler. Okay, there's the key.
I like that you have the. Hey guys, I like how in this game they would show that blue arrow to show you which door you came through, which was
Yeah.
often helpful to not get lost. Hey, it's our boys! It's the boys! And then kaboom!
Yes, this is, I think, one of the only times that we actually have, like, other people help, like, actually show up at the end. The sages are there in spirit, but they're not actually physically helping Link.
This is nice, but I'm confused because I felt like the Resistance never understood the scope of what Link was up to. Like, you helped them and stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't think they have any, like, they don't know you're getting
Yeah,
the Mirror
no.
of Twilight, the Few Shadows, Twilight Realms, they don't have
Yeah.
a clue.
Yeah, no, okay, that's another thing about the manga. After Blazetta, he does start to explain about Shadow King Zamp before he goes completely off his rocker fighting Dark Link.
Yeah, like, I get they're here because they are the Resistance and they're here to free Hyrule, but they don't know that, I don't get why they know you're here.
Yeah. That's something I like about the manga, like Link explains at least somewhat of the plot. Mind you, Mr. Old Man Aru, he's on my shit list.
Yeah?
He threatens the best girl.
Midna?
Yes.
How dare he? I say we seal him away in another dimension.
That's why he threatens her.
Because we're going to seal him away in another dimension?
No, because she's, fucking... Hold on a second. Let me deal...
The Twilight, yeah.
Yeah.
I find the reaction in many cases perfectly understandable, especially with Imp Midna riding on Wolf Link's back. That looks like some crazy stuff.
Yeah. He only knows, like, about the people of the Twilight, what the fuck that everyone else in the royal family knows about them. It's just, that's where they said criminal.
I mean, true. But it's like Twilight Realm's like Australia. It's like, sure, maybe, kind of started that way, but like,
They
people
don't
there now have nothing to do with that.
To be honest, I agree. Except this would be like if they had no contact with Australia for hundreds of years.
And then we just assume they're still criminals.
Not only assume that they're still criminals, the first people who were sent there were literally sent there by the gods.
Well, they delegated, but yes.
Also, there we go. Now I do look. Oh wait, one of my favorite little details.
Oh yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah, when you have the ghost rats on you, and Midna freaks out.
Oh, all right, get him off. Get him off.
Yeah, this is actually really cool.
This thing. Okay, this is one of my favorite details.
Like the ghost soldiers showing you where to go.
This is like they failed They failed in life, right? These have to be the ghosts of the soldiers who died trying to stop trying to stop Ganondorf. And they
Yeah.
failed in life, but in death, they're gonna get the last laugh because they're gonna guide the man who can defeat Ganondorf right to him. And I think it's really good. Like,
Yeah.
I like the subtlety of this.
Ah!
Here's the big staircase. It's like,
No, I think I have to do
feel
this.
like in my heart, they're just saying, "Go. It's up to you now. It has to be you. We couldn't do it, but you can do it."
I do like how after they give you the Master Sword, that there are just sections where you have to switch between Wolf and Human Link.
It's a good use of the mechanics.
Yeah. I was talking about with Sean and Chosen here. If Chosen's still back in chat, I don't know. But me, Sean, and Chosen were talking about that Twilight Princess. The only item I feel that is completely underutilized is the Dominion Rod.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is a wolf thing, I think. But like, I think Sean was like, "Oh, when's the last time you used Iron Boots?" I'm like, "I just used them at Snow Peak, and then they're yet necessary to beat City in the Sky." Yeah, I was talking about the conversation we were having during Temple of Time about items in the end game of Twilight.
Yeah. I mean, some people talk about this. Dominion Rod did get like a you do a whole quest to restore it, so it kind of got a second round of relevancy.
Yeah, but in terms like it's got like only two pieces of heart tied to it. I mean, double claw shot only has one, but that's fair since claw shot was used so heavily throughout the game.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a little bit of like certain items are underutilized, but it's like, well, there's only so much game in the game, so I get that. But I also think it's a little overblown because a lot of these items become like, besides solving puzzles, they become new ways to fight.
Now I will say
they become weapons.
A
lot of these are just weapons.
Yeah, I honestly think I think the endgame Zelda items in general kind of have that problem. Like they're like a lot of the items you get towards the end of a Zelda game don't really. Okay, I gotta focus on this for a moment.
You gotta lock in.
Yeah.
You gotta lock in.
It's funny. None of the spinner sections have given me any trouble. This is the first one that's given me trouble. It's the last.
Show us the rock.
There we go. And one more encounter. This one's in the more traditional Dark Knight armor.
This one's one-on-one, but the other one was two-on-one. Running out of soldiers, Ganondorf?
This one's also got the better moveset, though, also, because it's the greatsword as opposed to the maces. Because the greatsword can
it might be a greatsword, but that thing basically functions like freaking axe.
Yeah.
Club.
It's like a guts. Ah! That was a cross counter.
Oh, I see. I just saw it.
I will give that Dark Nut that one. That was a good counter.
You had a weird backslice motion there.
Yeah. There is a whole extra key for this dungeon just to open a treasure room. To be honest, it is completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's mostly just, if I remember correctly, rupees and a restock of all your items.
Time for a wicked-ass boss fight, which, honestly, it's hard to top.
Yeah, no. Honestly, okay, in my opinion, this might get me in some hot water with some people. I prefer Twilight Princess's final boss over Ocarina's.
I can but Ocarina's, I mean, the cinema of it is.
No, I could get it. It's mostly because of how, like, the way that they order the final phases.
Alright, Here we go. Here we go. Windswept, the highest point of the castle.
The storm rolling in. Zelda was the fourth piece of the Triforce all along.
The fourth piece of the Triforce was what was in our heart.
Also,
This guy!
Also, yeah, no, this is another thing a lot of people like to talk about, Ganondorf. Like, because this is a Ganondorf we see coming right off the heels of Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Wind Waker's Ganondorf is like, he's much more introspective because he's just had all that time to reflect.
Yeah.
Versus
This one did not.
This one did not. He's just been stewing in his anger.
He's like, gotta get him, gotta get him, gotta get him, gotta get him.
Angry Midda is good Midda.
Her expressions are very good.
Yeah. Also, the fact that he uses the sword of the sage he killed.
Yeah, he hung on to that for a long time.
Yeah.
But it also shows, like, he ain't been here, he hasn't had a body again for a while because he still has that wound.
Yeah, he just got back.
He who wields this power would make a suitable king for this world, don't you think?
Conceit.
Smarmy bastard. That I will risk everything to deny you. And I think it's kind of interesting here, right? It's like in a roundabout way, here we go. The Twilight challenging the power of the gods again.
Yeah.
But the ideas are totally moved around. Like good and evil has been moved around.
What delictive irony.
Hello, welcome. Final boss fights of Twilight Princess.
Deny me, you and your little friend.
Phase 1.
And he makes that whole speech and immediately uses Twilight magic. Uses Twilight magic for the disassembly and assembly thing here.
Yeah, he's basically stole. He basically took their spells and reworked it for himself.
Yep. And here's where we see, ooh, Minna, did you perhaps become a different person over the course of your journey?
Yeah, if this is the minute for the start of the game, she would have just killed Zelda.
She would have straight up done it! Those claws would have been in her throat.
Mind you, this hurts a little.
Anyway, Chins, I hope it's time for our favorite sport, tennis.
Yeah, mind you, this scene hits a little bit more of the manga because, as I've said in the manga, her and Zelda were friends when they were children, by complete accident. This is also why some people think that Zelda doesn't have her Triforce of Wisdom right now, because this is the only time Ganondorf's been able to do this. I mean, the only other time her body's possessed is because her soul is separated.
Yeah, it's gone. Because there's nothing in there.
And yeah, so to show your point, yeah, the shield strike will cause the energy balls to whiff.
Yeah. This confused me a little.
Ganondorf,
Yeah.
Ganon as a Twilight Prince is one of the most dangerous Ganondorfs in my opinion, because of his mastery over magic, both divine and shadow. Yes, though I agree there.
Yeah.
This is a Ganondorf who, instead of like going into the introspective aspect of everything he's done, he's just prepared for war.
And right now, like he's done it, right? Like he's got the throne. The army, the Shadow Beasts have decimated Hyrule.
The only thing he needs is the Triforce of Courage, and then he wins.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sean. Tennis time, as Colin said.
I still think to this day I need to fish up my old copy of a Wii so I can pull up Wii Sports and I can just make an amiibo of Link and Ganondorf and it just be the game.
Ah, perfect.
Like, this would at
Just
least...
see every one of their boss fights.
Yeah, this one I also like the fact that he does use... I could, no, I'm saving those for later.
Quick, use the fishing rod.
Yeah.
I could,
use
but...
your bottle.
Yeah, but no, here's the thing. My potions are worth their weight in fucking gold right now.
And this is quite literally the final boss. When are you
No. Do you know what you don't know what potions I have, do you, Colin?
I don't
He
care.
wants
Use
him to empty a bottle, so he has an empty bottle free to do
Yeah,
the
I have
destruction
rare
thing.
chew jelly, fairies tears, and 2 fairies.
You are over-prepared.
I am!
Ganondorf ain't that hard.
You know the funny thing is, you wonder where I got those fairies tears? That was the reward for 20 post souls.
Oh, so that's
I
not
feel
clean ordeals?
I
feel
don't...
like this is one of those cases where, like, because you're so prepared, he should be significantly harder.
I agree. But no, it's one of those things, I would drink one of them, except for the fact that the chew jelly and fairies tears, their added effect, just don't matter in this fight.
Well, I mean, you're not really going to use them for anything else after this fight.
Oh no, I'm going to use them for fighting his final phase. Because I can't use them during phase 2, because that's a wolf fight.
Yes.
Which,
Remember,
the fact that that's a
use the
thing...
fishing rod.
That's actually, does that work in this game?
Oh, it's so good.
I think it works only on the final phase.
No, it doesn't.
now.
No, it doesn't, because the fishing rod isn't swung like a sword in this game.
Yeah. It's coming. Once you defeat Puppet Zelda, we're gonna get one of the coolest things in the
Fishing rod
greatest
is
game made by human hands.
We get it, Zach. You're a massive fanboy.
I only speak
Also, by the way,
to
I love
awesome.
this. Yeah, I do love this, like, rendition of Zelda's theme.
There we go.
God.
We were playing so much tennis, I had to play the original Ganondorf fight from Ocarina of Time.
And now we get a bit more showcasing Minda's new power.
Fusion.
Get fucked!
Here we go. Get that bastard out of her.
Shove Ganondorf into a cardboard box. It works on Hatsune Miku, it'll work on Ganondorf.
It will not work on Ganondorf.
It will!
You all know who
Here we go.
Miku is the strongest person in the whole universe, so of course it would work on Ganondorf.
First of all, this pose is fantastic. Second of all, Dark Beast Ganon!
No. For a second, going back to that pose, it makes it look like, you done well, Ganondorf, but now behold my stand, Minna.
She's
Minna's
more-
a good stand to have.
Yeah. Dark Beast Ganon.
Look at this. Look at
And
this.
unlike Breath of the Wild, this one is actually intimidating.
Ganondorf says such an SCP. This is okay. So like, Minna even says like, oh, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Sacred Beast versus Dark Beast, and it's everything. You like freaking Minna's participation throughout this fight is great. And the fact that it's woven into the gameplay is awesome. And also, like, fucking stopping a charging,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how to
monster
fight him.
Hey, don't spoil the surprise for anyone who's watching and may not know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Here he comes!
You're moving around too much. Just stand there and look like a badass.
Here we oh.
No, I forgot how to fight this, because it has been... Oh, wait, yeah, okay, I remember now. It's grab, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
fought him
yeah.
since I was, like, 13.
Oh man, well, you gotta let him charge after you in the blue when the portal turns blue.
Yeah.
You know, considering the fact that this will be one of the games on the Switch 2, I can't wait to play it after several months pass and the price drops.
Fuck it! Yeah, you have to be angled also just right. That's the only issue I have with this.
I use Z targeting and just quickly like all around the room.
Hey, she wants to talk to
Oh,
us.
there's the portal. No, I keep forgetting he moves.
You know, when pigs start running, they don't stop.
Thanks, Midna.
Ganondorf's Brawl Final Smash. Midna learned how to
I've
wrestle
never
by
heard of
watching
before.
Link.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. You didn't expect the goat herding to come around like this.
The funny thing is, Midna actually does this in her shadow form in the manga. She does it to the Goron.
Oh, that's cool.
Because Link never gets the Iron Boots in the manga.
Okay, so I feel like this is one of before Tears of the Wild did some of its really nutso physical feats. This is one of the best physical feats.
Yeah,
of
no.
any Link right here.
I think before...
Isn't it mostly just technically a Midna feat, though?
No,
Midna pushes him to the side, but where Ganondorf is strong and where all of his strength, the arrow of his strength is straight ahead, and that makes it easier to push him to one side or the other. Midna's hand is held up and stops him, but it's Link who's standing his ground there.
This is true, Link is doing... But also, in terms of physical feats, this Link does do a lot of crazy shit.
Oh, he's...
Yeah. So it's like this and tossing the Goron Guardian.
Yeah.
In the
And don't forget just
line.
flat out using the fucking ball and chain.
Yeah, the ball and chain.
The whole move where he just moves the entire planet.
Well, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that in this one.
I talked about this earlier in the playthrough, but the Hyrule Warriors Link to use the ball and chain needs the silver gloves. This Link doesn't.
Just picks it up.
Hey, look, a fairy! Thank you, Ganon.
Just in case.
Why was that in his chest?
It's not his house, actually, so he didn't
Link
know
is the
it was there.
support of the legs, while Midna is the arms. It takes both arm and leg to... Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I like their teamwork.
The fact that Link is able to stop him, and like just actually, he is still putting in some work to stop this stop Ganon's charge.
Yeah.
Hey, look, arrows.
Because if Midna just floated there, try to do that, she would just be flattened against the wall. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. There's a great version of this song on YouTube where someone did like gameplay version where they weaved in the sound, the little notes of music you hear as the portals appear.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Good
SCP?
editing.
Isn't it SCP?
Yeah, no, because true SDP logic, why the fuck is it... If she is so powerful, why the fuck is she in a cardboard box? Because it worked.
Because it works.
I must
Also-
destroy the box.
By the way, okay, because I'm talking about the manga a lot right now. You wonder how much more visceral this scene gets in the manga? Link rips out his intestines.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that would, considering what he's going after.
Yeah, no,
You know, honestly,
Link is
after
drenched
watching
in Ganon's blood by the end of the fight.
You know, honestly, after watching that whole "What if Link was super extra prepared" video, nothing surprises me about Zelda anymore.
Yeah, the manga is insane.
Oh, I was just talking about animation I posted before, but yeah.
It's time for magical floating head form.
The most powerful of Ganon's forms.
Apparently. So.
Yeah, this is why
I mean, even Midna
yeah.
can't defeat magical floating head form.
yeah, this is why I know some people do have the theory about Midna having the Triforce of Wisdom since we got the Master Sword. So something definitely left Midna to wake up Zelda.
Yeah, which her soul at the very least.
Yeah.
I guess you could make the argument that the Triforces connect to the soul.
Well, yeah, but no, the reason why some people think that it was separate, well, the manga runs on it being separate, because Mida still goes through the whole thing with, being shoved into the, the realm of light and nearly dying. Zelda actually has a conversation with Ganondorf in the castle beforehand. It's in the chapter I'm about to talk about this week.
And here we go.
She can 1v1 him! She's got this!
She's got it, right? She's
You got this,
right?
Now, don't get one shot or anything. That'd be embarrassing now.
And then look. Look at this.
Teleporting them away.
Teleports
Get out of here,
you
side
away.
character. The main
That's-
character's gotta finish this off.
That fucking smug smile from her at the end.
She wants, she wants to do right by you, and she's like, well, now I have this. Maybe I can just put an end to this without having to endanger you further.
Mida's just going,
Oh,
let me
what?
solo him. Mida's like,
Let me solo him.
she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is also why some people think that a lot of the power for the fused shatters there was whatever Zelda gave her, because
I don't think I agree with that. I think Gandalf with the Triforce of Power is just that powerful.
I don't know, but still. So how about we kill Ganondorf?
To be fair, how do you really overcome an artifact that is literally the embodiment of power, besides like an artifact that is basically courage and wisdom?
Yeah. Also, by the way, yeah, he just fucking. Their fight was. They blew up the fucking castle.
Yeah.
Man, those beam struggles can go hard.
Yeah,
And
and.
then this is heartbreaking. This is like the evil version of Link's, triumph over Bulbin before on his horse.
Yeah, him breaking her fused shadow helmet.
It's like, I am so much better than this, I will break it in my hand. This power you questioned for, whatever.
It would have been even more heart wrenching if if the hoof print of like one of those charging things stepped on it.
Probably, but the animation work there, and I bet you they thought of it, but the animation work there probably made it not make sense.
It was in the GameCube after.
Twing. This
I
is
think in the
cool.
GameCube has done some impressive work at times.
I think it's not hardware. It was just it would have required more time and development effort.
It also didn't help that this was also being co-developed at the same time for the Wii.
These guys show up.
Arrows of light!
Morgana, who usually gets sidelined.
So, funny thing, this scene, not the scene, this whole segment actually outs some people for bad controls. Because, Zelda has a bit of an infamous thing here towards the end of being a horrible shot. She's shooting wherever the camera is aiming.
Is that what it...
Yep.
Well, I just try to keep myself Z-targeted on Ganondorf and not wobble around too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
it's
mean,
easy,
to be
sometimes
fair,
it's hard.
girl had her soul sucked at her. She probably needs some time to get the rust off and actually aim straight.
She needs some Gatorade.
Also, I think
wait, I
this
have
is
a
their
question
first
for you,
time
Nick.
meeting. Right?
Wait, I
As
have a
Link?
real question for you. Then Nick. Who's the worst shot? Zelda here or Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh.
Shadowheart's a great shot, as long as she's casting, not Ignis.
Shadowheart with Ignis.
Ow.
Here we go!
Immediately get knocked off the horse.
Wait, we try again.
Oh, fuck.
Very polite of Ganondorf to just sit there and let you.
Oh, no. He was.
You down.
I heard the horse. He came for a slice.
Yeah. This part here, this game, I think provides some of the best evidence we got.
What the fuck?
That.
I think I merged with Ganondorf for a split second.
Oh yeah. We will clip through him. This game.
You ran through Ganondorf when his invincibility, when the hurt box reactivated.
when you got this battle, you got the few shadow attempt by Midna, you have the execution attempt by the sages. I think this game provides a lot of evidence that Ganondorf, and by extension
Yeah.
Ganon, pretty much cannot be killed by anything that isn't arrows of light or the Master Sword.
Honestly, I think the real answer is
Fuck,
you can't
I
be
need to
killed
stop
by
getting so
anything
close
or
to him
anyone
for
that
the-
isn't named Link.
Yeah, I need to stop getting close to him because of the fact I am clipping into him and it's hurting me.
I mean, to be fair, you got enough healing items to heal yourself over 3 times over, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I have 2 full heals and 2 semi-heals.
Don't fairies provide full heals?
No.
Oh, okay.
They do revive, though.
The Ganondorf of Time is the most dangerous, tenacious one in 3 different timelines. Well, it's because in the 3 different timelines, it's the same dude!
Yeah, I mean, for a while, he was the only one. Besides the one, I think the 4-sword one, and then not until Tears of the Wild.
I mean, to be fair, if we think about it, the Demon Lord in, whatever his name was in Skyward Sword, every villain, you could technically, theoretically argue that every villain is him.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
the,
It's just,
the,
and it's just the one.
yeah,
It's
but,
just he keeps going
Before
back to
it passed.
Ganondorf because he's the one that does the best work.
no, we mean literally though, Ganondorf in Twilight and Wind Waker is the Ganondorf of Time.
I
Yeah,
know,
it's
I know
remarkable.
that, but I'm also just saying, isn't there like other forms of like just Ganons instead of Ganondorf?
Yeah, that,
Yeah, there's
the
many
theory there,
different
yeah,
Ganon.
yeah.
There's only like 3 Ganondorfs that are different people.
I miss.
Which is wild because he's so iconic, but he actually has not appeared that much in this form.
Yeah, Ganon and Ganondorf are actually different characters to an extent. And arguably the Ganondorf of Link to the Past. But yeah, the theory behind the Ganondorf slash Ganon of Link is that that's a Ganondorf who's just given and completed the Triforce of Power and just does not exist anymore. He is just the pig man.
Yeah. Although honestly, you think about it, the way that the whole like, loop thing works and the whole like curse thing works, you could technically make the argument of the Demon Man just go, "It was me, Link. I was Ganondorf."
Well, in The Link to the Past, at least, when you're in the Dark World, the ugliness inside ends up on the outside. So I think it's quite fitting.
But he's stuck in pig form.
Yeah. He wants your ass!
He wants my ass. The main issue is this is like dog fighting. I have to get behind him.
Yeah. Ganondorf, man, he wants it.
So
He's
speaking
like,
of
I'm on a
dogfighting-
winning streak now.
So speaking of dogfighting, when am I gonna see Star Fox Assault on the channel? I'm just kidding.
When you see Ace Combat. Fucking,
Horsemanship is being challenged, man.
I know, and the thing is, I haven't used Epona pretty much for the entire game. I've been using Wolf Link.
I get that.
Oh my
You can
god!
always find grass.
Meanwhile, Ganondorf is showing why he's the horseback riding champion since '98.
Yeah.
Okay, finally.
Here we go. Here we go. Alright, Zelda.
There, he was on his last hit that entire time.
Maybe that's why he was trying so hard.
Yeah, no, Ganondorf was literally just leaned forward on his horse and he's like, alright, let me try. Let me lock in.
Okay, so what should we use first? The rare chew jelly that I've been saving for, like, since the first time you joined, the thing that was like stream 3, Zach, when we were in Lake Bed.
It
I
seems
think
appropriate to use
You
it
should
then.
probably save your healing light items for later.
Bullshit, I'm using the rare chew jelly.
No, what about the super rare boss that appears after the main story?
You know what? Fuck you two. I'm gonna put on the Iron Boot set for the final cutscene.
No, use the fishing rod. Use the fish-
Is that what you want?
No, Colin. If you never seen the final cutscene with the Iron Boots.
Wait, so like Yeah, because it's done in engine, right? So you're just gonna go ka-clunk, ka-clunk.
I need to see this now.
Yeah.
Wait, how are you gonna jump and do the mortal blow with the iron boots? Oh, you can still move with them. Okay.
Yeah, it's not very fast.
You're not playing Skyward Sword, Ganondorf!
I think if you keep doing the spin and roll, he eventually just learns how to not take the hits from it.
Yeah, this Ganondorf adapts to some things that you
Yeah.
do.
Down the
I always
drink.
like that about bosses when they adapt. You just get.
Alright, a little awkward angle, but alright.
I imagine Link looks up to Ganondorf, puts his fingers in like a cross, and he's like, "Time out." Treats Toshi. Very sportsman-like Ganondorf.
Yeah. You need a distraction. If only there was some way to catch his attention.
No, we had to do this!
Yes! Yeah!
Ah.
Come on! Why is this not every game with sword fight?
No, I think my favorite bit is like if you're trying to look up the. When I tried looking at the theme for this final fight right here, I had to specifically look up a version that does like the sword clash thing with like the losing and then the victory one.
Yeah, the like context sensitive music. Oh, you almost got
I like the fact that the music changes depending on who's winning that sword fight, that sword struggle. I think it'd be really funny if you could like change between like victory and defeat very fast. Can you actually try that, Nick, the next time you get into a clash?
Incredibly, they managed to top this.
Part
sword fight.
part of me wishes Ganondorf through the occasional energy spheres, like he jumps back. You know, he has learned.
Huh?
I mean, wouldn't you
Why
look?
would he do that? Oh, it must be a clear distraction. I must pay attention to it.
Wouldn't you look like? What the fuck is he doing?
I would love it if that only worked if you had like the most expensive fishing rod in the game. Like,
There's
if
only
you were,
one
like,
fishing rod.
Oh, he has slash marks in his cape. I didn't remember. I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe I forgot.
Next time you do a sword clash, you need to like try to switch between victory and defeat very fast.
I don't have. There's. It's very sensitive, so it's kind of hard.
I just think it'd be really funny to go from like the defeat, victory, like rapidly change the music.
Yeah, it's a little too sensitive for that.
You can't beat me, Link. Your bank account isn't powerful enough. Look at him.
Actually, I might run out of
Realize
rupees.
you're using the magic armor.
Yeah.
He hit you and he did no damage.
Yep.
Yeah, but look at my bank account.
I like to imagine this is a skit right here where Gandalf would complain about you using the magic armor. It's like, oh, okay, you know, I'm trying to fight you in an honorable duel, and what do? You pull out pay to win. I didn't realize this game was made by EA.
Armor's out.
Oh no. You're out of rupees. You may win, Link, but your financial future is ruined.
Fishing rod.
I imagine Link pulls this out like it's like the freaking like some special technique from Dragon Ball. It's like, behold, Ganondorf, this is the magic armor. I must sacrifice my bank account to do this, but if it's beat you, it'll be worth it.
I hope so.
I imagine.
Here we go.
It gets desperate enough in the fight.
I did it.
Here it is!
Yes.
Oh, it's so good!
I like to imagine.
Oh, wait.
Ganondorf's last breath was like, with the iron boots on too? Seriously, man?
I did put them on.
They managed to
I
top
imagine.
this in Skyward Sword, but it was so good in that year this game came out and we did this fight. It was incredible.
I like to imagine having the iron boots on when you did that made the impact hurt a lot more.
I bet it did.
Do you think this ends here? Bitch, no, I got more reincarnations to go through.
The
Right.
history of Line Shadow will be written in blood.
If I remember correctly, I think this is the end of a timeline. He does not reincarnate.
Yeah, this is the end of this Ganondorf in this timeline.
Like,
And
I
he
mean,
fucking
officially, yeah.
dies standing up. I mean, what more can you ask for a...
oh yeah, this fucking cutscene.
Oh yeah, the next snap.
Oh,
Yeah, fucking Zan just looking at him. And his neck snaps.
Next snap moment.
The end of the divine joke.
I feel like people took that, like, I remember reading forum posts and be like, what did Zan do to him? And I'm like,
It's
you guys
symbolic.
are taking this way too literally.
It's symbolic.
He's on the edge of life and death. He sees a dead man in front of him, and then he's dead. Gandalf is dead now.
It's the end of the divine joke.
Nah, it was all part of Zan's master plan.
Also, by the way, okay, let's... Zach, are you ready to get to talk about her?
I'm not
Are you ready to suffer?
I'm not ready.
Oh, is your body ready?
No.
My body is, my heart is not.
This is gonna be even funnier because I'm wearing the fucking iron boot.
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it, because I have the entire chat muted, so I don't.
Turn on the audio. Remember to...
Run to her. Run
clank,
to
clank, 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 clank.
her.
I was almost tempted not to do this, but God, it's so funny. She tall.
She tall.
This desire was so powerful he learned how to run in fucking weighted boots.
Here it comes. This was a shocker.
And the little imp who has been riding on our back this whole time is very tall.
Happy Link!
Okay, we got credits before the heartbreak. So before we talk about that, let's talk about the actual game of Twilight Princess. Zach, get out your rant again.
Alright, so
Wait, first of all,
demonstrated right before our very eyes. This is the perfect game.
perfect game. Yep.
Humankind just can't make a game better than this. They can't do it. We can just stop making video games. We can go home. We made it. It's Twilight Princess, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, boss battle planning, Kenta Usui. Good job. What else is there to say? The characters are fantastic. It interweaves excellent gameplay, excellent dungeons, excellent atmosphere, art style, and the emotional, personal character journey of
More dungeon.
personally invested.
Lake Bed's actually really easy.
It's good. It's a good game.
Okay, if I may interject real quick, also really quick to the comparison to the manga. So, in the parallel to the end credits of the manga, we do get an epilogue actually from Russell's point of view, talk about what a lot of the people are doing with the end of Gandorf's tyranny and everything. Ilya, of course, has gone back to the village with all the other kids, with the exception of Mallow, who is now just a mogul. With his own Goron mafia.
Oh, jeez.
But, The thing is, though, with Ilya, she's one of the last scenes we see from her is her waiting by the bridge as at the entrance to the village with the horse call charm. She never gives it to Link. She said she made it to Link. Instead, she gives it to Shad, the guy who helped us get to the city in the sky.
A bit odd, but alright.
Because he has a thing for her throughout the entire manga.
Oh, and this is how they pivot. This is how they pivot the shipping around.
Yep. You think you're slick until the Corn Mafia break your kneecaps?
Hi, my name is Mello. I'm 4 years old, and I have been in the retail industry for the last 50 years.
I mean, look what he did to Castletown. He made a fucking cult. You know what song they're dancing to. You hear it in your nightmares.
Just fun song.
I have made the cult of Link.
Now, we will see Colin here. So Colin, with this sword on his back, is this before we got Hyrule Historia. Many people thought that Colin was going to grow up, change his name to Link, and that some Zelda game is secretly starring Colin here.
Yeah.
I mean the character, not you, Colin.
Yeah. So the thing is,
Well, where?
Colin the new Link. I wish, but the funny thing is, Colin's arc is a little bit more of a satisfying moment in the manga, as during the attack on the village, you briefly see it with him saving Beth. He actually saves Beth from getting attacked by one of the Bubblins. Before the entire town's children gang up on this one Bubblin and kick the shit out of it.
Beat him up!
This is why Twilight Princess needs a sequel. We were talking about it earlier before you joined. We want a sequel set in the Twilight realm.
I want so bad!
I know how much you want it back. We ran a whole campaign because of it.
The funny thing...
I ran a whole campaign
okay.
That is the sequel to Twilight Princess.
So now that we have beaten Twilight Princess and we're at the end game, let me talk about the fact that Zack accidentally predicted the end of the manga. So, as I said, okay, spoilers of the manga, but the manga's epilogue ends with Link looking for a way to get back into the realm of Twilight.
Yeah. In my campaign, the backstory of my campaign is that he succeeded.
Not only is he looking for a way back, he's setting out to see the rest of the world, also still looking for a way back. Because his relationship with Midna is very different compared to the end game.
He succeeded, alright. Succeeded, and then he had to fight his mummified corpse.
The fight.
Crazy that it worked out this way, because I did not know. I mean, I knew the manga existed, but I.
What year did you run your Zelda campaign?
Maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. No, it's probably actually been a while, honestly.
I was gonna say, was it before
Meanwhile,
2020? Was it before 2022?
Tristan will never make a perfectly perfect character like Zork ever again.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm getting the notes.
2020. Sean is saying 2023.
Yeah, Nick. Don't forget my mom's trash.
He's double checking.
Alright, I created Zelda campaign notes. May 3rd, 2020.
2020.
So no, you started the notes. You started writing 2 years before the manga wrapped up. So you predicted the end.
I last modified this July 19th, 2021. So the backstory of this campaign is Link looks for a way to... I went with he finds the Ocarina of Time. Okay, well, let's let the cutscene happen.
Time for heartbreak.
Why do I feel a knife?
Here we close the character arc of Midna and Zelda, and Midna thinking that like Zelda's an inferior princess ruler.
As long as the mirror's around, we could meet again. Yeah. What's that knife I see? What's that knife? They told us the only one who can destroy the Mirror of Twilight.
Who can really destroy the Mirror of Twilight is the rightful ruler of the Twilight Realm.
I just remember that one post. Link, you need to step down. No.
How could you do this to me,
It-
Nintendo?
It hurts more in the manga because like they actually have a full relationship there.
So,
I showed you the final panel with them.
the backstory of my campaign is Link goes on a quest, or is sent on a quest by that Zelda, and he is sent to recover the Ocarina of Time, and he does. And he uses the Song of Time to reverse the destruction of the mirror, and this reconnects Hyrule and the Twilight Realm, and they establish friendly diplomatic and trade relations, and so that's why there's Twilight around in my campaign. But then there's some Zant worshipping fangirl who picks up the remnants, the leftovers of Gandorf's corrupted Twilight magic, and tries to do bad things. Luckily, there was a ragtag group of adventurers who stopped her, and also this general and necromancer. Good job, team.
But yeah, okay, so talking though back to the manga, we had, I think this game came out like what, 2006?
Yeah, I think it was 2006. I'm pretty sure I played this game in 2007.
It was 10 years until this game got its manga adaptation by the artist-writer duo, Akira Himikawa. They had previously written manga for Ocarina of Time, Minish Cap, Majora's Mask, Four Swords, Phantom Hourglass, and Oracle of Seasons and Ages.
A lot of them.
Yeah, they wrote a lot of them. The nice thing about them getting to write Twilight Princess was it was the first time since Ocarina of Time that they've gone to draw adult Link. Because all the others are either Kid or Toon Link.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I've complimented their writing heavily, as I've been talking about the manga on the YouTube channel, where they are very good about giving all the Links distinct personalities and character arcs. Ocarina of Times is very much your standard hero. Majora's Mask is just an extension of Ocarina, as they are the same person. Minish Caps is this very creative little goblin making use of the whole shrinking mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't actually travel across Hyrule. He travels across most of Hyrule on a bird.
Hey, Link!
But, and then Wind Waker's was a fucking... Not Wind Waker. Phantom Hourglass was a menace to society who was just straight up ready to leave Linebeck to die. But in the very first dungeon, he's like, "Hey, are you lying back? If not, I'm just going to leave you."
Damn. Not
Yeah.
very heroic, huh?
He's a pirate.
Phantom Hour, but that's also the Wind Waker Link.
Yeah. He's been sailing with Tetra. He's more of a pirate than a hero.
Spent too much time with Tetra. He traveled all the ocean, helped people on various islands, defeated Ganon the dwarf himself.
Yeah.
And somehow piloting ships transitioned into being able to run trains.
That's a descendant. But then, Oracle's written more like he's just an adventurer. He wants to see the world and not be a knight. Though he does end up falling into that, but he still has that adventurous spirit and kind of is willing to get into fights and all kinds of other crazy shit.
Yeah. Did we? Well, I was gonna say Oracle's. I think is the same person as Link to the Past, but
Not at least.
I don't think we knew that at the time.
Yeah, I think the manga still treats them as separate characters. I have to double check, but no. Twilight Princess is written as a guilt-ridden man because he destroyed a country.
Well, you know.
He works. It's like him working over like the inferiority complex, an impostership. He feels he should not be the hero of Hyrule. Gets the Master Sword, gets really fucking full of himself to the point it scares Midna. He fights Dark Link, who he then has like this weird insanity moment where when he stabs Dark Link, he's actually stabbing himself.
Gets a dose of humble pie, I imagine.
The hero of spirits is presumed to be the grandchild of the hero of winds.
Reminds me of a page out of the 5D manga where you say need to get like the dragon, but the way the dragon is, it amplifies the negative feelings in people when they duel, and it makes them like really greedy.
Yeah.
And he would have self-destructed if he then didn't come to the realization. It's like, wait, I need to stop.
So you gotta be careful with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the dragon was so powerful.
Everything's fine. The mirror's not broken. Midna is here.
Alright, now to fight the super boss.
There is none, sadly. That is it. We
kidding.
have completed. This is a 100% complete playthrough of Twilight Princess in terms of collectibles.
Except for the
I'm sorry, I like how is that Zant staring right in front of you?
No, they're the people of the Twilight. And what did you say, Zach?
Except for the fish.
Except for the fish, because the fish is a waste of time, because the fish does not do anything except the fish log.
That is not Zant over there. These are just civilian Twilight.
I know, but for a second, I would have found it really funny. Just Zant staring the whole time like some fucking Itachi shit. It's like, so that's how you defeat Ganondorf. But now you have to fight me for real.
I will always say Zan has some of the fucking best sounds in Zelda. Just like the whole before he dies.
He's even better when he goes fucking insane.
You know what some of the sounds remind me of? They remind me of a caster from Fate Sarah, where she's just making random noises every so often before saying really fucked up shit.
It was some serious whiplash after that moment at Lake Hylia, where the Lanayru Light Spirit gets bodied. You get cursed. Midna.
Yes, we did. We did distract Ganon with the fishing pole. Don't worry. We also wore the iron boots when we wore our best shoes when we saw Midna in her true form.
Your best shoes, huh?
Ignore the clinking. But yeah, this is... I'm not going to do another Zelda project for a bit because of the fact that I want to finish the Zelda manga videos, which I still have fucking... I'm on volume 7 out of 11. So I mentioned this before on the other streams, but I'll mention it to you too. It's funny to me. When I started this project, I said, like, okay, there's probably going to be moments where I'm going to have to wait to do some videos for the manga because of the fact I'm doing 100%, so there's going to be entire streams devoted to just getting pieces of heart and everything like that. No, nah, that didn't happen.
You barreled through the game pretty fast. Yeah.
I got through this game really fast. Like, faster than I've ever done before. And I actually got to share some fun facts with it. Like, for example, talk about the fact that the lowest percent speedrun for Twilight Princess is the fucking wildest shit I've seen on a speedrun.
You know, good thing our buddy Zach isn't like a streamer himself, because if he was, I imagine the first thing and probably the only thing he would ever do is like, alright, I'm gonna play every single game in the Legend of Zelda series.
Yeah, that was his true strength. Oh shit, Wick, wait, is that a new John Wick? What the fuck?
What?
Okay. I just got DM'd by Sean that there's a new, that's I just called Wick is Paid. I'm gonna have to see what that is later. But
I'm pretty sure for reasons I can't spoil that there can't be another John Wick.
yeah, no, there is another one in the works according to Keanu.
John Wick: The Wickening.
But no,
Literally gonna come out of the grave.
yeah,
Okay.
after either the Twilight Princess manga videos are done, or actually, this is probably more likely after Strangers in Paradise. It's realistically, if things go well in our final run, this stream will be the final story stream for Strangers in Paradise.
If you know, technically, if you think about it, once you can actually afford Switch 2, you could do Wind Waker stream.
I mean, I have an old. No, I don't actually, because I'm missing pieces. I was gonna say, like, oh, I could trade in my old Switch. No. Of all the fucking trade-in policies with the Switch 1 for the Switch 2, if you want full things, it's kind of stupid. You need everything. The straps for the Joy-Cons, the dock, the charging adapter, everything.
You got, I think I could probably do that, but I don't plan on, personally, I don't think I plan on giving up my Switch.
You know, I was going to give up, as context, I have an OLED model as well as an original model.
I never had a Switch to begin with, just a Switch Lite, so I would totally go for it once it's actually in the price range.
That makes sense, yeah.
All the pre-orders are gone, and then all the pre-orders are also gone.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would drive me to get a Switch 2 right now is Metroid Prime 4.
I would honestly do it for all the GameCube games that are on it.
Prime 4, I think, is a good reason. I also just expect that the games I'm going to be wanting to play in the future are going to be on the Switch 2.
Honestly, that Donkey Kong game.
I have 2 Switches, but I'm not giving either for a Switch 2. That is fair. I have mixed opinions on the Switch 2. I mean, I'll talk about it really quick. Like, everyone talk about the price increase. The console price increase didn't bother me as much as I don't think it's as big of a deal as people were making it out to be, just because everyone was comparing it to the base model Switch, when I personally think the fairer comparison would be to compare it to the OLED model's price. Because that is a more realistic comparison. But, I think the price hike for the games is, at least for Mario Kart, is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that seems a bit much.
And they're... Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Also the main issue is, like, I'll be honest, it's just, like, they haven't really been clear on the stance, because fucking Donkey Kong is priced similarly to Tears of the Kingdom, but Mario Kart is, what was it, $80 or $90?
Yeah, usually they're pretty consistent on pricing on first-party games for, like, the whole generation. They've been typically increasing the price by about $10 per generation, but they kind of skipped the Wii U, probably because they cut it short.
I've had this conversation before, but, like, in the background. There's a lot of people thinking that, or I've been seeing this sentiment go around a lot, that this is either going to end up in one of 2 ways. It's either going to be the Wii U all over again, or it could end up like what happened with the 3DS launch. Because a lot of people don't remember the 3DS had a price issue on its initial launch.
I remember.
Yeah. Nintendo lowered the price, and then the 3DS went on to being one of the best-selling handheld consoles.
Yeah. I am a 3DS ambassador.
Yeah. No, I love
Anyway,
the
this
3DS.
has been a nice stream so far.
Yeah. Well, we're done. We're just kind of shooting the shit at this point.
I know, that's
We're
what
as
I'm
far as
saying.
Nintendo
That's
knows
why I
people
was
pay the
kinda-
price considering how much DLC we buy from them.
I was honestly just trying to wrap up this. Give us an out.
No, no out. We just keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. All right.
Back to the Cave of Ordeals.
I already finished the Cable Ordeals.
No
You
hit
know,
run.
wait,
Let's
you
go.
know what? Since we literally have nothing to do in this stream, hey, Shade, you want to go back to fishing? Time to do some fishing.
Fuck it, Cable Ordeals.
Cave of Ordeals. No hit run. Let's go.
No, not no hit run. That's fucking nightmarish.
No hit run.
There's a room with
No,
four
you're-
dark.
alright.
No, there's a room with 4 dark nuts now.
It's
Well,
time
anyway, I
to get
think I'm going
good.
to. Anyway, my phone is dying and I'm watching the stream, so I'm going to leave. Besides that, this was a fun stream and good guest stars here, and I'll be seeing you in a few days, buddy.
Yeah, good. I
Yeah.
look forward to
Yeah, we will. Like I said, we won't be streaming another Zelda for a hot minute. Because as I was saying earlier, the next games I'm probably going to end up streaming and is after Strangers of no Zelda starring until after I'm done the manga videos. After Strangers, I might stream Metaphor ReFantazio again, just because of the fact I find it easier to stream that game than say Persona. Just because of the fact that grinding in that game is not nearly as time consuming.
You might finally be able to stream Hollow Knight Silk Song.
I would need to stream Hollow Knight first, but no, that is something that could happen, but other projects that I've got, like, in the background waiting is, of course, waiting on the release of Digimon Time Strangers. That's gonna happen when that comes out, and in August, we have Super Robot Wars Y. Which, I cannot wait to fight Godzilla with a fucking Gundam.
So, there will be a bit of a pause before you play another Zelda game.
Yeah.
But
It's a lie. Silk Song is a lie. I tell you, it's a...
I have no evidence that Silk Song exists.
Certainly
more
didn't appear on the stream.
Silk Song doesn't exist.
Okay, I know one thing that happened with Silk Song's development was there was a brief moment, from what I was saying, where they almost had to switch engines because Unity got on its shit.
I still think the best part of that whole like reaction trailer switch to is seeing people's reaction to Silk Song. It's like the Hawkeye meme of "Please don't give me hope."
Oh, no.
Seconds of
We were talking about this last time I was playing Elden Ring with Proto and Lich. We were talking about like the stream when they revealed the Oblivion remaster, and we were just like, everyone in the chat was like, "Wow, you're already years behind on Elder Scrolls 6. It's probably gonna take another like 5 or 6 years. Like it's out today." What the
Got
fuck?
today. Yeah, that's the best part about watching people react to that. That is hearing that we could be released today.
Shadow Drop. I mean, yeah, big surprise. But also, are you ever gonna make Elder Scrolls 6?
They are working on it.
Skyrim its own genre now.
If you keep, the more you ask for Elder Scrolls 6, it gets delayed by another year.
Damn.
I'm trying to think here though. We also had. I know down the line, one thing we'll also be playing is the Liza P DLC. Whenever that comes out, it's supposed to come out this year.
I can't wait to play the soon-to-be game-nominated Elden Ring DLC.
Night Rain isn't DLC.
Or whatever. Like, didn't it come out? Didn't Elden Ring get another DLC that
No.
people are joking is going to become the game of the year? Get
No.
nominated again?
No, it doesn't. Elden Ring has a whole new game coming out this year. I believe in a month called Night Rain, which is a multiplayer game.
Okay, yeah.
But not
I
like
think
an
that's,
Elden
I
Ring
think that's
2.
the joke, is that Night Rain is going to become another game of the year nominee.
It might. Thing is, like, I know personally I'm not too hyped for Night Rain just because of the fact I kind of like, creating my character, creating my build, and going through the world. I don't feel the need to play a roguelike Elden Ring experience. It's also why I kind of lost all hype for Duskbloods when they announced what its gameplay style was.
So I have a question. The new Super Robot Wars, it said like it was available on the Switch. Is that like you have to purchase it like in Japan specifically?
No, it's just gonna be available on the Switch. And the
When
PS...
is it out? When is it supposed to come out again?
August 28th, it's gonna be on Switch, PlayStation, and Steam.
August, okay.
Alright. So, what? It's gonna be a while, but what Zelda game would you stream next?
Minish Cap.
Minish Cap.
This is my plan for the next next Zelda streams. Minish Cap, Four Swords Adventure, the Link to the Past, and the Link to the Past Four Swords.
Okay. They're, yeah, doing pretty much the greatest hits of the 2D Zeldas.
Yeah, and I'm probably also going to do the same thing I'm doing for Twilight Princess for them, but in a different format because of the fact that both GameCube and the Link to the Past.
Oh.
But unlike Twilight Princess, where it's 11 volumes of manga, they are just one book each for those ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it would just be one video talking about it, as opposed to the whole collection I do here. I have those in hardback. I have the Legend collection, so I'm kind of look forward to doing that.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. The next main project that's going up on Monday to Friday after Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts ends next Tuesday in terms of the YouTube videos, will be Project Crawl Zone, which I'm already 20 levels in, and I'm ready to get my heart ripped out in 9 levels. Because they talk about Iris from X4. No, we're not doing Link's Crossbow Adventure.
Yeah, wait, you mean you're not going to stream Link's crossbow training?
Okay, I'm ending the stream.
Wait, no, but it's so good!